Roy Mustang, the coolest white glove wearing fire slinging character in anime. Today I will break down how to build him in D&D 5th edition. Now I will first build him raw, this is entirely rules as written, and then I will go into some light reflavoring and different ways we can build him, with DM's permission of course. This is slightly a different type of character build than I've done in the past, so let me know if you like this style and I can continue doing them like this going forward. So after we break it down mechanically, I will then go into how to roleplay a character similar to Roy without being an exact replica. So, without further ado, let's get into this build. Class. Roy is an alchemist who uses fire spells to deal damage. These are both ranged, very accurate, and area of effect. This instantly cuts down our class options quite a bit because it has to be a spellcaster with access to lots of fire spells. So this pretty much instantly breaks it down to sorcerer or wizard. Mechanically, it was very hard to break down which one of these suits Roy better. Arguably metamagic does, which is a sorcerer ability. However, if you really break down what an alchemist is, they are wizards. Rules as written, they are people who study their craft and then cast spells. That is wizardly. The magic isn't within them like a sorcerer would be. So rules as written, Roy is a wizard, as are all alchemists. Subclass. Now this was pretty straightforward. We are going with an evocation wizard, and it's because evocation wizards specialize in dealing lots of elemental damage, such as fire, while also sculpting it to make sure it doesn't hurt their friends, which Roy can do very well. Race and background. For our race we will be choosing variant human, as Roy is a human, and for background we will be choosing soldier, as this represents his time in the Amestris military. Notable features of this build. As an evocation wizard, we get the ability to sculpt spells at level 2. This allows us to choose certain creatures to not be as affected by our fire damage when we do area of effect fire spells. This is crucial for our build and is very helpful for a Roy type fire slinger. At level 1, when we become a variant human, we get to choose a feat. We'll be choosing Elemental Adept, as this allows us to deal fire damage in a more impactful way. This allows us to ignore resistance to fire damage, which is huge. It allows us to damage many more foes. And whenever we roll a 1 on fire damage, it counts as a 2, which will add up over the course of a campaign. Spells. As Roy is the fire alchemist, I obviously wanted to choose as many fire-flavored spells as possible. So I went through the spell list for each level and found every good fire spell. If a spell isn't obviously fiery, I will explain how we will reflavor it to use as Roy. So this is the spell list. For cantrips, we have Firebolt, Create Bonfire, and Control Flames. These are all very self-explanatory. At first level, we have Mage Armor, which you can reflavor to be fire protecting you. Shield, as well, uses fire to protect yourself. Magic Missile, which you can use for Roy's very targeted attacks when he clicks and it just hits someone, because Magic Missile cannot miss, so I would reflavor that as fire. It can still deal force damage or can be fire, talk to your DM about it. Chromatic Orb, use the fire option, and Burning Hands, which is just a fiery spell. At level 2 there are many just straight up fire spells, so these are Dragon's Breath, Scorching Ray, Flaming Sphere, Continual Flame, Aganazar's Scorcher, and Pyrotechnics. For Pyrotechnics, you can reflavor some of the smoke to be fiery distractions. I think that's fine. Third level. Protection from Energy. You can use this to protect yourself from fire, protect yourself and others from fire. Fireball, the classic fire spell. You will be using this all the time once you unlock it. Flame Arrows and Melf's Minute Meteors. These are both just fiery damage spells. Fourth level, we have Wall of Fire, we have Summon Elemental, choose a fire elemental, and Fire Shield. At 5th level, we have Immolation and Conjure Elemental, again choose a fire elemental. At 6th level, we have Investiture of Flames, this is a fiery spell. We also have Globe of Invulnerability, you can reflavor this globe to be made of fire. And Disintegrate. I feel like Disintegrate is very much a fiery spell. It's kind of what Roy does to a certain someone, you know, just hit them with fire and they disintegrate. Seems fiery to me. 7th level, Power Word Pain. You can reflavor the damage to be from a burn instead of a word. And Delayed Blast Fireball. 8th level, Power Word Stun, similar to Power Word Pain, make it be from flames. Illusory Dragon. You can flavor it to be a flaming dragon. 9th level spells. Prismatic Wall, again, choose fire. Power Word Kill, like the other power words, reflavor to be damage from flames. Meteor Swarm, reflavor meteors to be giant balls of fire coming from the sky. Playing Roy as an evocation wizard, rules as written, is the most accurate way to play him in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. However, there are some other ways we can build Roy if we're allowed to use a bit of flavor regarding background of powers and how attacks look. So here are some alternative Roy builds. Pyromancy Sorcerer. If you could ignore that sorcerers have their magic from within and wizards learn it, then this is the best build for Roy. I reckon it's better than the wizard. The metamagic options available to you are just too good at twisting and changing the fire spells, and the abilities that the Pyromancer Sorcerer gives you are very valuable as well. Notable features of the Pyromancy Sorcerer. Metamagic, Careful Spell. This allows us to do a similar thing with the sculpt spells of the wizard. It allows us to make our friends not take as much damage. Metamagic, Transmute Spell. This allows us to change the damage type of a spell, so it opens up a wide variety of other spells that we can use to deal fire damage. Heart of Fire. Whenever we cast a fiery spell, everyone around Roy just takes damage. This is great, this is just some more fire damage. Fire in the Veins. We ignore resistance to fire damage and we gain resistance to fire damage. This just suits Roy so much. Pyromancer's Fury. Whenever we are hit with a melee attack, we can instantly deal fire damage back at the person who did it to us. This is awesome. This is just more fire damage. Fiery Soul. We gain immunity to fire damage, while creatures that have immunity to fire damage only have resistance. This allows us to deal damage to creatures that normally cannot take fire damage. This is massive. All of these abilities combined create a stacked fire damage dealing class. So if you could build Roy in 5th edition with changing the background of his powers a bit, do a sorcerer. It is a better option. But rules as written, alchemists or wizards. Alternative build 2, the Gunslinger Fighter. This is a good option for people who aren't comfortable playing spellcasters or just want to be a fighter dealing fire damage. So, the way you would do this is reflavor your bullets to be shots of fire. You would have to work out the damage type with your DM and how your rules for ammunition and reload would work, but this is a pretty simple and straightforward way to transfer a fighter into a fire slinger. Role-playing the Flame Alchemist. My advice for this and for learning how to roleplay any character is to watch a compilation of them on YouTube, or just rewatch your favorite scenes of that character, or rewatch the whole show if you want to, because it's just a really good show. But anyways, you watch their scenes and this allows you to really get in their mind space. When you're writing down their stats and doing research about the build, I would listen to their personal OST. Many characters have a soundtrack, so I would listen to that and just get in the headspace of Roy. So I've made a list of Roy's main characteristics that I will share with you guys, so you guys can build a character that'll act similarly to Roy, although he might be a bit different. He is ex-military and has PTSD and deep regret for what he has done when he was serving in the military. He wants to repent for his actions in the military. He is a born leader. He is naturally inquisitive. He is fairly stern and serious, but he has a light-hearted side that he allows his friends to see. Your friends in this case could be the party, but when you're interacting with NPCs, you would be more stern and serious. He has a fiery, passionate rage for whenever his friends are in trouble that doesn't quite cloud his judgment, but forces him to move. He will still think logically about the attack, but he will go into action whenever his friends are in trouble. Using these aspects of Roy's characterization will allow you to make a character that is similar to Roy, but not be the exact same. Obviously you can change it around and play whoever you want, however you want, but these are just tips I would use to create a character that will feel like Roy. And there we have it. That is how we build Roy Mustang in D&D 5th edition. Please let me know if you guys like this format of character builds rather than the level by level breakdown. I'm not sure which is more informative or more digestible. So let me know in the comments and also let me know who to build next. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!